Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another first impression review from the Knights of the Turntable. With me, I have Joe Hova.
What up?
And I am CSJR, aka Profex. We have a first on this first impression review. For the first time since we've started, we're actually going to have the artist that made the album with us as we discuss it. And we're going to be talking about the Mac Miller album, Good AM, Good Morning. That drops officially tomorrow, but the stream came up late last night. But Mac Miller, would you like to tell us about the creative process behind that?
I was actually about to say, hey, good job on not calling me Mac Miller, and then you ruined it. So thanks for that.
I had it planned out, man. It's all good.
Sure.
But yeah, we're talking about Mac Miller. This is his third studio album. His first one, I can't remember the name of it. I didn't enjoy it very much. His second one, Watching Movies with the Sound Off, was very, very good. Something that I have always said about Mac Miller is that he continues to grow and get better and better as an artist, which is just solid that we can witness that happening. And in short, this album is another example of him growing.
And see, you have a different perspective because, like, I haven't really listened to Mac Miller's music, and I think most of it's because I just felt like when the songs that I heard in the past, like before he kind of like was known, they were kind of cheesy to me. Gotcha. So I kind of avoided his music, for a while. But I figured, you know what, the 100 Grand Kids, that was kind of dope to me, and the Break the Law, that was kind of dope to me. So I was like, all right, let me give the album a chance. So
yeah, like a friend of mine was in the same boat. He listened to the older stuff, which I've listened to the older stuff and I didn't enjoy it either. Mm-hmm. Anything before Macadelic, I really did not like at all. Because everybody's big on his kids mixtape. I didn't enjoy that. The first album, I think it was called Blue Slide Park, is actually the name of it. Yeah, I didn't enjoy that very much either. But everything he's put out since then has been significantly better, in my opinion. And the same friend of mine that didn't like his old stuff, I let him hear 100 Grandkids and watch the video. And he was like, I actually rock with this, so I'll give the album a listen. Because if you listen to his old stuff and that's it, then I can understand not wanting to, but he has evolved significantly and is much more entertaining and a lot less corny. A lot of people say his lines are still very filler when he rhymes, but it's just I
don't think so. I think on this, especially with like the way the album is sequenced and set up, like I think a lot of the lines serve purposes.
Gotcha. But let's go ahead and jump into it. I listened to it on the NPR stream, and we have that linked up on the Koalition.com if you want to give the album a listen before you grab it at midnight tonight or tomorrow. But with that being said, since I listened to that stream, it's basically set up as one big track. So there were some songs I don't know, where it ends and the other songs begin. But the first three I definitely know where they go, and we'll talk about Doors, which I didn't realize until just now that Doors is produced by Tyler the Creator.
Is it really? Because it didn't sound like Tyler.
Did not sound like Tyler at all, but it was a very, very moody intro. It was still solid. I liked what he did with it. It kind of reminded me a bit of the intro to the Lupe album, or the Lupe EP, Pharaoh Heights or whatever. And it leads into Brand Name very smooth, and it helps that Brand Name is fucking badass, bro.
Yes, it is.
That song is hard, dude. And then after that, Rush Hour is good. Like I said, a lot of the songs blend together for me, and I really won't be able to tell you where things go bad for me until the very end section. But the first three songs, I was set.
Yeah, I agree. The very first three songs is like, and that's what caught my ear was like on Doors and what was the third one?
Third one is Rush Hour.
Rush Hour, yeah. Like he on Doors especially, like he gets lyrical and not like lyrical like like a Lupe or like a Sky Zoo, but like for him. Up to this point, he's not been a lyrical rapper, but like this is more like personal stuff that he's getting into, And I thought it was pretty dope because like he's been gone for a couple of years, and people were wondering, and I mean the Breakfast Club interview, like he's like people thought that you were like just doing drugs, and he said yeah, I kind of went away and I just started doing drugs and drinking. So I mean he admitted it, but like he let you know why he was doing that stuff.
Yep, exactly. And you're right. It's definitely a much more personal thing with him as far as this goes, and I think that's part of the evolution that he's made. His rhyming has had more substance, or at least the creative process behind it has more substance, and we're hearing it, and it's much more better off that way. But the next song, Two Matches, featuring Ab-Soul. Joe has something special to say about this song.
Can I just ask why Ab-Soul decided he wanted to have a good verse here and not on J-Rock's album? Like, that just kind of seems like he was tanking. Like, he was the Sixers on the J-Rock album. He's just tanking.
Just riding it out because he knew he couldn't compete, right?
Yep.
Well, per usual, Ab-Soul Mac Miller collaboration, it goes over well just like it has before. I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know if you know or anybody listening knows, but Mac Miller is pretty tight with TDE. It has been for quite a while. We even have Schoolboy Q, I believe, was on a skit. I swear that was his voice. They didn't say his name or anything, but it sounded just like him.
And they've been on past projects.
Yeah. And Mac Miller's like in one of Schoolboy Q's videos too, if I'm not mistaken. But and their YouTube vlogs and stuff, they're always together.
Yeah.
But Two Matches is dope, and it leads very smoothly. I'm gonna keep saying that throughout this whole project, into 100 Grandkids, which we'd already heard, but we just said before we like it even more in the sequencing of the album. What were your thoughts on that?
I mean, like it's like you said, like it's just the sequencing out of the album. I think that's the positive and the negative of this album, is because like we're listening on this stream, so like we can't really tell the difference in between songs. So yeah, that's cool at times, but then at the same time, like that gets a little boring to me, where it's like it kind of like leads into the next one and just leads in, and it sounds like one great big long song.
Right, exactly.
For an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I like, the songs were really solid up until a certain point, and it was really noticeable. And because of those transitions and such, it kind of dragged the rest of the songs with it also. And it needed a larger change of energy that it happened with the last song, maybe the last two songs, but there was definitely a dead spot towards the end. But the next couple songs we have Time Flies.
That's dope.
That song is really dope. And we've got Weekend featuring Miguel and Not Weekend. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. Personally.
I don't, because Miguel freaking killed that hook for how little of it he was on.
Yeah, and that's a strange collaboration. I never thought that I would hear Miguel on a Mac Miller. But if I'm not mistaken, he's still independent, isn't he?
Who, Miguel?
No, Mac Miller.
No, he signed to Warner Brothers.
He's on the Warner, okay.
Yeah, he left Rostrum on, I think it was after the last album, and he went to Warner Brothers.
Okay, got it.
They gave him 10 M's.
10 M's?
Yep.
And he's still reflecting about when he first got his first $100,000, man. But Time Flies and Weekend are very solid. Next, we have Clubhouse and In the Bag. Go ahead.
That's about where it starts like blending in together. Where it's kind of like, okay, like is this song? What why does this sound like the last song? Kind of like that.
Yeah, and it's weird because like In the Bag, if that's the song that I'm thinking of, or I may be thinking of Break the Law. I think Clubhouse, In the Bag, and Break the Law all kind of blend together. Which, by the way, Break the Law has some credits production-wise from Thundercat.
Yeah, Thundercat's on there, and Juicy J uncredited on there with the ad libs.
Yes, and that was fire too. He killed it. But those, kind of blend together. Granted, they are not bad. They're still really, really good. They just blend together and don't stand out as much. And then after that, we've got Perfect Circle and Godspeed. Did you have any words on those?
I thought Perfect Circle was pretty cool. Like I really liked that. It was if that's the one I'm thinking of, like on the stream, it was another like really, really personal track.
Yes, it was. And I do remember that, and it stood out to me because it kind of changed up.
Was that was that the one where he was talking about the relationship?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a very, very sudden change from Clubhouse in the Bag and Break the Law. Which Break the Law is kind of a single. I know I'd heard that one before. It leaked out or something.
Yeah, that was on. I feel like that's on Spotify. I feel like it's on my playlist.
Gotcha. But Perfect Circle and Godspeed, both of the transitions or the songs on there are really, really good. When in Rome, I thought I was gonna hate it with the way he did like the hook and everything, and kind of the production, because it kind of goes back to the vibe that Clubhouse, In the Bag, and Break the Law have. Mm-hmm. But it's still entertaining. It's more of a catchy type of song, very radio friendly.
That I could definitely see that going to radio. ROS is not long after that, right?
Yes, ROS is right after.
ROS is like probably the standout on the album to me.
Think so? I don't remember that one specifically. I'll have to listen again, because at this point is when things really blended together for me, and I kind of zoned out because it was all one thing. Mm-hmm. So ROS, Cut the Check, Ascension, and those three. ROS, Cut the Check, and Ascension.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing too, is like those last three songs, like that's where I felt like it ended like strong. Like it was a very strong ending with those three.
Gotcha. At that point, I think it was just my mind. Like, first off, football was on. I was watching this while I was streaming this while I was watching football. And I think this was the point where the Eagles started coming back in the game. And I kind of zoned out. But I do know I didn't hate the songs. They weren't bad. They just didn't stand out to me. Mm-hmm. But Jump, I was waiting to hear, like, how is this going to end? Mm-hmm. Because this is a longer project. This is 17 songs.
Yeah, this is a lot longer than like the last like 4, 5, 6 that we've reviewed.
Yeah, and that may have played a part in my listening, my attention span. It was getting a little long at this point. But Jump, if I'm not mistaken, was very solid. I'd rather it would have ended on Jump than on the festival featuring Lil Dragon.
That skit at the end with the Hispanic dude is hilarious.
That shit caught me off guard, man. I don't know where that came from. It's like the last 30 seconds. He
just came out of nowhere.
Doesn't make any sense in the context of the album at all.
At all.
But so, what'd you think of the last two songs, Jump in the Festival?
I really liked them. I think Festival was it's another standout for me. His tracks where he like dives into like his personal life, I think that he's a very good storyteller with that.
He even had glimpses of that on 100 Grandkids. Mm-hmm. I mean, he mixed it in with some really catchy stuff, but when he was telling like little brief moments of the story and the overall theme of the song, you could tell that you recognize that it's pretty good. And you're right. I think he is a pretty good storyteller, which is something that we didn't get from him in the past before watching movies with the sound off.
Yeah.
Which ties right back into me beating a dead horse and pointing out, dude is growing as an artist. I mean, he started off pretty young anyway, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he's about our age, if not younger.
Yeah, so he's definitely come a long way.
I feel like the best line, though, it comes like right, I can't remember what song it is, but he said, got so high, fell asleep, and forgot to die. Like, that's some deep shit. Like, I took that as like one of the deepest lines on there. Like, and like that's the thing. It's like he's not known for that stuff, so it's kind of cool to hear him grow progressively like that.
Yeah, and throw that stuff in there, and he may be influenced by some of the people that are around him too, which is a good thing.
Hanging around TDE, then I mean, shit.
You ain't got no choice, man. Schoolboy Q gonna come at you and roast you if you got garbage in the booth.
Q, he ain't eating.
Word. So overall, what would you say about this? Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I would recommend it. I'm gonna listen again. I'm gonna listen a few more times, and I think it's solid. I think it just goes to the year. You know, everybody keeps dropping like good projects. It's crazy. Like I feel like I don't know if it's like I feel that we're saying, oh, this is good just because of the year, or just because it's actually really good for every project for the most part?
I don't think it is that, because last year we were listening to a lot of things, and we didn't have that good after good after good until like the end of the year, really.
Yeah. The only sour one's the Dom Kennedy. And
it's crazy that we have such a strong year, and then we also have received one of the worst projects in hip hop put out by somebody of note. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because that Dom Kennedy is pure hard garbage. But I co-sign what you say. I recommend it for sure. If you've listened to him before and didn't enjoy him, still give this a shot. Just listen to it at least one time. And of course, if you're already a fan, this isn't going to turn you away like the Dom Kennedy project did. It'll actually keep you there, or make you even more of a fan. It's really, really good listen. I agree with what you say about it continuing the strong year that is 2015. I'd actually say that for a moment, this is like we started off on a really, really high with 2015, and it kind of went down a little bit, but it still was consistent. Then the dip on Don Kennedy is still consistent. I think this picks it back up to the high, because this is going to be in my rotation pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Probably even more than the J-Rock is. But the J-Rock, Gumbo and Vice City and what's the other one? Money Trees Deuce, man. Not leaving rotation anytime soon. Not at all. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You got any last words?
I'm not Mac Miller. I'm also not Slim Jesus or Jesse Pinkman.
Thank goodness you're not Slim Jesus. You are Jesse Pinkman. And you are Mac Miller. See, that doesn't help. That doesn't help anything at all.
I know.
And if any of the rap battle fans are out there, look up Young Casper and then compare Joe to that guy, because he is that guy. You've never seen them in the same place. Just saying.
I'm also Professor from And1, so.
Yes, you are, and you're Norm.
Nah,
just a younger version. You're Norm.
I don't look like a thumb yet.
But as usual, we appreciate it. If you notice, we've had some issues with uploading to YouTube, so they've been bouncing around different accounts, but we're trying to get everything back in order. We appreciate y'all checking out everything. Hit the eye annotation if you'd like to donate. Even if you don't want to donate any money, just give us some feedback. Hit the comment section. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you're going to listen to the project. But share with your friends. Share with your family. Share with your enemies if you want to. Matter of fact, share the Dom Kennedy project with the enemies. Definitely share that with them. And then laugh at our first impression of that. But we thank you, and we will see you next time. Peace out.